Hi, I'm Adriano, and I'm going to help you through the 5 steps to mastering my delicious macarons. Now you'll need about 50 minutes, which includes the prepping time. So let's get started. Okay, so we need 2 baking trays, some baking paper, a dark marker pen, and the tracing ring that came in the box. The prep will take about 10 minutes. First thing we're going to do is make a piping guide. Cut the baking paper the same size as the trays, and then lay it down flat, with the curly side up. Using the tracing ring, trace out the inner circles. This helps you make the right size macaron shells every time and avoids them sticking together if they're too close to each other. Remember, the spacing is really important. Flip it over and place it in the tray, curly side down, and the paper will sit flat, ready for piping. An easier option is to print off the pre-drawn piping guide from my Zumbo baking website. Getting the exact measurements is the first pressure point in creating your macarons. By following these steps closely, you'll create an awesome macaron as opposed to an ordinary one. The meringue mix is super sensitive, so make sure you use clean metal or glass bowls and not plastic. Plastic bowls can trap in oils and affect the mix. Starting slowly to avoid splashing, whip the meringue mix and water with an electric mixer until it starts to thicken. Then turn it up to maximum speed for 4 minutes. You want the mix to be really stiff, like this. Then add the almond base. Mix with a spatula until the batter is even. Then back in with the beater, using short pulses to get the final consistency. The batter must flow off your beaters like lava. This batter isn't ready. It's still sticking to the beaters. One more pulse and here we go. Lava. Whatever you do, don't overpulse, because at this point, overbeating will thin out the mix. A trick I use to transfer the mix is by putting the piping bag into a big glass or mug while you scoop in the mix. Carefully cut the tip along the dotted line. Hold the piping bag with 2 hands and place the tip about 1 centimetre above the centre of each circle. Squeeze with the top hand till the batter fills the circle. Pull the tip away from the centre, leaving the short tail pointing straight up. If you get any odd-shaped ones, then use a spoon to fix it. Tap the tray to burst any bubbles and let them sit for 10 minutes. Now this is important, because if they don't rest, the shells won't have feet. Now let's start baking these awesome treats. With your oven preheated and your mix rested, you're ready to bake. We recommend baking 1 tray at a time. At 14 minutes, open the oven and check if the shells are done. You'll know this because the feet don't compress when you press lightly, and I mean ever so lightly. You don't want to bust them. If they're not done yet, give them a minute and retest. Overbaking them can make them hard and crumbly, and you want to avoid this. Take them out of the oven and leave them on the tray for 2 minutes. Then slide the paper with the shells onto the bench. Once the shells are cool, carefully peel them off and arrange the best 30 into 15 matching pairs. We're down to the last step. You can almost taste them. To make the filling, use a small mixing bowl. Add the milkshake filling mix and 30 ml of boiling water, then stir until the chocolate has melted. And then whip it whilst it cools down. Add soft butter and whip again until it looks deliciously light and creamy. Put the mix into a piping bag, pipe onto 1 shell, sandwich together, and voila! The mighty macaron, the instant friend magnet. Subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking here.